today I've come on with this second signature of the Shabby, Chic and Girly journal, and I've actually completed it. So, well, almost. I've got a few little bits just to add in there, but yeah. So I thought we'd have a little flip through of that and a little catch up. As you know, I'm caring for my mum at the moment, and she has dementia, so I can't make videos while she's here, but I can work on the journal, and then I can show you what I've done when she's not here. That's what I'm trying to do. So we have a pocket on the front here, a big pocket, and inside there I've got some pink edged little journaling cards to be written on. So that's those, and then I've edged it with pink lace. On the next page we've got a little tuck here with a couple of little tiny little journaling spots on the back of there. They look cute, and this can be written on. So in the side of here we've got, I've closed all the envelopes up, joined them together like this. This can all be written on, and then I opened them all up at the sides and I put little journaling spots all in every little one. So every envelope has a journaling spot in it, a little one. I know it's little. Or you could put stickers in here, or you could put pictures, whatever you wanted. The edge of that one has been cut with an edger and has got a pretty edge. This has been clipped on with a paper clip, and it is a little folio full of little bits and pieces. So you could put receipts in here if you wanted to. I filled it with little things that can be written on the back of. You could put dates on there. If you went out for the day, you could put some little, like your receipts and that, as I say, in there, and some dates, maybe a couple of pictures. Yeah, little things like that. So that's that. Over here we've got this double belly band. It's got the twins in there. Look, I love that. I really do like that. So that's in the front there, and they're cups that I've fussy cut out and popped onto the larger belly band at the back. And then inside there we have a notebook with quite a few pages in to write some notes in. I do like my journals to have an equal amount of space to write and decoration. Over here we've got a little paper doll with all her little dresses. She's got hats, she's even got her own little doll. Over here we have a magnetic closure, and behind that is another writing space. I love this avocado dyed paper. I really do love it. I must make some of my own. I actually was gifted that and I love it. Over here we have another writing page, so on the edge of that I've just popped a little sticker. So that's all to be written on, or you could pop a big picture on there. Anything you want, you could do a bit of doodling. Then in here, I had put this already, and when I was looking through it, I thought, oh, I want to make it firmer. It was a bit flimsy, that one, because it's bigger. So I did glue some card onto the back of it, and I went around it with some distress ink, and now it's a lovely thick one. In my corner tuck, the corner tuck can be just taken off if you don't want the corner tuck there. It can be taken off and moved somewhere else. On the other side we have some more little journaling cards. Love that one. That one's a harder one, and this one is a more flimsy one, because sometimes you just want a flimsy one, don't you? I thought, well, I'm not going to make that one thick as well, but yeah. Over here we've got a decorated paper clip with a pretty girl on it, and then inside that I've just popped a little journaling card behind there, a journaling paper I should say, because it's sort of it's thicker than paper, but it's not as thick as card, if you see what I mean. Yeah, it's sort of in between. Over here on the other side of the paper clip we have a postcard, and that could actually be used as a postcard. It says just a little note to say on there. This can all be written on. There's a little picture in the corner. We have the butterfly page. That can be coloured in or not. On the back of that we have beautiful flowers that I've stenciled in blue. Then we've got this craft coloured page that's been sewed around the edge, and then I've glued on lace on the edge of there. On this side of it I've popped a little, it's an embroidered flower, yeah. So this can either be written on, or you could put a nice picture there, whatever you wanted to. This is purely just to look at because I love these pictures. I think they're so pretty. Love, love, love. It's Lucy May Atwell, and I love her. She's my favourite author. And then we have got a little corner tuck here, and I've decorated it with a little bit of linen. Is it linen? Not linen, it's more, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's got one of those little like cabochon things on the front there. Then I've made a couple of little bottle journaling spots, and then we've got a little horse picture there, and then we've got this lovely tag which looks really vintagey. I like that, very shabby chic. Then we have more of the avocado paper. I popped a little girl on that page, and then on here we have a folio. I'm sure you've seen the folio before. When you open it out, it's full of pockets, and the pockets are full of little journaling spots, and it's held on at the top by a paper clip which has a dangle on it. The edges of the pages are sewn for decoration. On this side we've got a big double pocket, so there's a big pocket at the back. Then we've got a smaller one at the front, not so deep, and it's got a couple of little journaling spots in it. Yeah. The rest of the Lucy May Atwell page. This one is for writing or decorating. If you wanted to, you could just do a scrapbooking page on there, couldn't you? I haven't put quite a lot of stickers in this journal, and you know, in one of the spots I have popped in quite a lot of stickers. So if the recipient wanted to, they could literally just decorate that page with stickers just for fun. Over here I've got this pretty little system, which is a pocket on the front here, and I love these secret garden. They're so beautiful, and I wanted to share them because I absolutely love them. So I've popped those in there because we've got a pocket at the back here like this, and we've also got a little bit of a corner there that's fallen into the book. Take that off. So there's a pocket in the back. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I love that. And then there's a pocket on the front as well. So that's those, and you can write on there, look. And then this whole thing is to be written on. You can write on here, here, all the way. It's just like a little waterfall notebook, and I did make a pattern on the bottom there with one of my die cutting things. I think it's a die cutting thing. Over here we have got yellow lace and a little picture in the bottom there. I love that picture of that duck and those cups. It's one of my favourite pictures, you know. I absolutely love it. This is just avocado paper which has been glued onto the edge of the page just to make it look pretty and to hide the back of that lace. Now this is the little thing that I've filled with stickers. There's stickers and pictures and little things that can be glued into the book. There's some frames there, some of the embroidery flowers and stickers and all sorts in there. So the recipient can take those out and pop them anywhere in the journal if they wanted to. On here we have a really pretty pink page, and I thought that would be a nice background for some photographs. So you could put one there and one there, or you could have 4 little ones or 2 little ones and a big one, but I thought I'm not going to put anything on there because it is so pretty just on its own. Over here, this is a fabric butterfly. Look at that, it's fabric, and I've only glued down the actual body of the butterfly. Just think it's so pretty. So this is for writing on. On the other side I have put on a belly band, and then I've popped a notebook, a smaller notebook this time, but that has been popped into the belly band like that, so that it doesn't fall out, and on there we've got a little dragonfly and the word notes so that we know it's a notebook. Over here, this was a stark white page and I wanted to decorate it. So I stenciled on in this lovely colour. I love that colour so much. And then it didn't quite meet the edge, the stencil didn't, so I put this washi tape down the edge. I glued it on rather than leaving the actual washi tape to stick itself. It wasn't strong enough, it's not designed to stay on permanently, so I did use glue for that. And then I stuck on some of these, which I got in the pack from my lovely friend Claire. And then this was a paper that I found when I was looking for something else, and I really liked it, and I printed it out and turned it into an envelope. But it's an envelope that can either be sealed up at the sides and used as an envelope, or it can be opened up, written on, and then placed back in the journal into the paper clip. And really, in that paper clip I could put a little dangle, couldn't I? Let's have a look at my dingle dangle charms and see what I've got in here that I could put on there. Let's pop it on here a second so you can see what I've got in here. So I've got bulb pins. I've got these little things which I bought because they were 50p and I've never actually used them. I've got these which are nice. These are numbers. Yeah, I could use one of those actually, couldn't I? I may use one of those, we'll see. I've got these which are for a more chunky journal, and I thought maybe would look better on the outside of a journal and you could attach a tassel to it. That was my thoughts with that. This was an old, I got it for about 10p the purse, and I've been cutting little pieces out of it to make it into little things to go in the journal. I've got these are not right for this journal, but they will be, say, for the colourful journal. I love that, but it's too big for a dangle. I'm not even sure what it's doing in there really. I've got some of these. We could use one of these. These are eyelet tags, and they're little craft shaped tags with a little hole at the top, so that would make a good backing for any dangle. So let's pop that on as a backing then. So that's in the background and it will be the backing. Hold on, I put it on the wrong way. I want that darker bit at the front there where you can see it like that. So that's that. And then we need something to add to it. I like it to have a bit of lace on there, or you can see from this one, look, I've got a bit of a shiny bit there. I've got a number on there. I've got a little bit of this is twine, it's not lace, but yeah, that's how I like my dangles to look. But this one wouldn't match this journal. So these are fishing, it says 3-way swivelers, but yeah, they're for fishing I believe, but I thought, oh, they'd be good for making dangles with, wouldn't they? These I got from a charity shop and I love them. This is it was a freebie from Vector Designs, and I loved it so much that I made myself one. I absolutely love that. It is an Easter card. Look at that. I don't know why that's in there, but anyway, it is. In here I've got some little charms. I love those. These are pretty, look. These, it says love on it. Have I actually got one of those with that's the right colour? Let's see what we've got. Oh, that pale blue. Those who know when they have enough are rich. Yes, that's very true, isn't it? We could maybe use, and it's got a flower on the other side. That's quite a pretty colour. I think I might, it's a possibility, that one is. We'll leave it out, it's a possibility. I have little bits of, there's a little bit of gold lace there. Maybe that's a possibility. This is pretty with it being pink. I like that it has pink on it, so that's a possibility. Christmas is a no. A little piece of net is always handy. There's a butterfly there, that's pretty. There's a little square, that's quite pretty actually. I might leave that out. We're not going to put all of these on, but some of them. These are swivels, it says, and it's just like can see it's got a dangle on it, and it's like a little pin at the top, I believe. Found them in the fishing section of Boys, I believe. Yeah, and then this is another one of these. As I said, I got them from a charity shop. That's why I bought them. I buy all things like this, you know. They come in handy sometimes, they do. I put little bits of fabric in here. This is obviously the wrong colour for this one, but yeah, I do put little bits of fabric in. Circles I cut out, I put in here. See, that's a little cute one with a teacup on. That might go in well, actually. We'll pop that as a possibility. I've got, these are laminated, little laminated things that I liked and thought would go in. I like that little bit of bling on there, actually. That's a little bead. You can see all the different, there's little bits of fabric. There's numbers. I like to have a number, possibly. It would be useful. Yeah, this is a green one, look, and on it, it has a little... Let's just get these round where they're meant to be, like that. You'll see the theme for this one is green. And on it, it has a little bead. This is actually a spacer bead, a black spacer bead with diamantes on it. It's really pretty, doesn't it? This is a bigger one, so it would go in a bigger journal. And you can see it's a multicolour. It's got a little like pendant thing there from a broken necklace, that'll be. And then I've got this one. This is a sewing one because it's got like a measurer there, it's got yarn there, and then it's got that blue bit at the back, which is a die cut one. That I got from a quilting book. Yeah, there's so many different things, honestly. These are pretty, quite small as well, which is good. I could honestly spend all day in this box, I love it. That's pretty, and this is actually one that someone made for me. It's not one I made myself. But isn't that pretty? I like how it's got the little dangle at the bottom. It's a good idea. You have a bit of lace there that might come in handy. This one's just a tiny one, look, and it's got... I often pinch something off one and put it on another, though. I do that. And it's got fabric on it and beads and a little tiny craft coloured tag. This one's pretty with the lace and the heart on there. So let's have a look at this. That's the background, and then it goes like that. Yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I like that. Have I got anything else that would go in here that's pinky? Pinky is what I'm looking for. That one's quite... No, I might have that one. We'll keep it out. You can have a look at what I've popped to one side and see what I'm going to use, can't we? There's a little heart there. What colour's that? Oh, that's pretty. We certainly don't want a fly. I'm not sure why I put a fly in there, but anyway, I did. We've got a number 9 with some pink on it. That's pretty. Yeah. That one's a nice one, look. It's more for a darker, maybe for a witchy journal. I like that one. I do have lots of bits and pieces in here, and as I say, I keep popping bits in. I love this, but this is more for sewing. It's like it's an embroidery hoop that's got flowers on it. Yeah, it's more for a sewing one. So let's see what we've got at the side here. Let's pop these back in. So we've got that as the background. I'm liking that lace. I'm going to pop that on so you can still see the craft tag through the lace like that. And then I'm going to have this number, and is it going to be a 6 or a 9? I'm going to leave it as a 9, I think, and pop that through there. Just pin it on like that. You don't need to do anything else. It's not as if you're going to be pulling it or anything like that. Now, do I want that one? Now that one completely covers up the 9, and it's so that's just a wasted one, isn't it? Shall we try, I'm going to try the teacup, but I think again it's going to cover up the 9, isn't it? Yeah. Let's have this little tiny one then. This little tiny floral one. Make a hole in it, pop it on. Or is it too much? I'll tell you what, let's not have the number 9. We'll have this instead, and then I'm going to put a little tiny bit of pink ribbon on the front. I've actually got it the wrong way around here. So it's going to go on like that, and then I'm going to put a little tiny bit of pink ribbon on the front, and then it is going to go on the paper clip. So here we are. I've got this sheer pink ribbon that I'm just going to tie in a little double knot on the front here. Don't think there's enough to tie it in a bow. Let's see what we can do. So we'll put a little knot there. Yeah, I don't think we need a bow. We're just going to have a double knot. And then we're going to pop it onto our paper clip and close it. And then we're going to cut that ribbon just a bit shorter. It's just a little bit too long. Put it at an angle so it doesn't fray. There we are. There we are. So it's pretty, and it'll dangle out of the top of the paper clip, and it'll dangle on both sides of the page. So that's that. Crikey, that took a bit of doing, didn't it? You put my spare dangly bits back in. Don't be getting your dangly bits out, forgetting to put them away again. No, don't do that. So that's that. Like I say, there's just a few little bits that I needed to finish. So if I get any little pieces of fabric left, I'll get my crimping shears and cut them into little strips and pop them in there, because you know they all make up little bits for dangles. Oh, I've left that one out, look, and that one. Right, there we go. So on this page I have just put a little picture in the corner there, and this can be written on or decorated. In here I've put a nice thick tag, and this has got a little pocket in the front of it. It can be written on the back of it. It's got a great big long piece of fabric in the top there. I absolutely loved it. This is one of my favourite pictures, and I wanted to get it put in my journal, but I could not find my thick. I normally print it onto tracing paper. I had one printed on tracing paper, but it got all creased in the packet, and I didn't want to use that one, so I could not find my thick tracing paper, and ended up just printing it onto thin card. So I don't know where my thin tracing paper is. At any point in time, there was always something. I don't know where it is. Always. I'm always losing things. I'm terrible. Yeah, Bert and Layla are telling everyone off. The post lady has just been, and they're busy telling them off. Aren't you? You're being a monkey. You are. So, on this page I put this for writing on, so it can be written on, or it could be a frame, couldn't it? You could put a picture on it. I just thought it looked pretty, and I wanted to just decorate I wanted to still show the music, the green leaves of summer, but I wanted to put a little bit of writing space on there. So that's how I did that. And then on this page we have this tuck, which I've decorated a little bit with some lace and a sticker, and then I cut out that piece of floral decoration there. And then this is one of those envelopes again that can be, actually I ought to put some pink around the edge of that, didn't I? Yeah, let's put a little bit of pink around the edge of that. This is what I mean by little bits that I haven't, you know, that I just need to, this is why I like to do these, I often just sit and go through it and think, oh yeah, I'll do that, oh yeah, I'll do that. Another thing I did was put decoration on here. I feel like I could go through my journal 100 times and still find something else to either change or add to it. But yeah, and like this for instance, it was a lovely crisp white and now I've made it pink. I've made it shabby chic with a bit of pink on there, see? Yeah, I like that, and that can be written on or made into an envelope if that's what the recipient desires. And then we'll do a little bit of pink on here. I love these envelopes, and this is the one I used. This is one actually printed off and cut out, but I do use them as well as, I used it as a template for the one, you know, if I find a pretty piece of paper that I want to use in the journal, say as an envelope, I use this as a template or something like it as a template to make it into an envelope instead of just a piece of paper. So another thing I like to do is put a closure on my envelope. So now we have the pink on there, let's find a little closure to go there. So I've got these, I'm going to use that same shape and put it just here. And I think I'm going to go with a green one, as we've got lots of pink, haven't we? So all I do is make sure that when I glue it so that it's just like this. So there's just enough of it for you to tuck your envelope into behind and close it, just like that. And it looks so pretty, doesn't it? I feel like I need one there, but it'll look odd if I put one there and one there. Maybe we could put a butterfly or something there. Let's see what we've got. It will do what I want it to do, which is cover up the background. Let's just pop a little bit of extra glue on it, because it will be, because it's an envelope, it will be used, so it may come unstuck. You know, we'll give it a double chance of staying on. There we are. So that's my envelope finished, and it was in there like that. And I realise now why I hadn't closed it, because I'd had that bit over the top like that. But the opportunity to close it is there if you want to, isn't it? And then on the other side, this is a big magnetic clip that I made. It's literally just a rectangle like this, and then I rounded the corners and I made two the same, stuck a magnet at each end and covered the magnet with the same size rectangle, and then it'll close like that and it will hold things onto your journal. I love the magnetic idea. So we have it there, and then it goes inside this, which is a little folio that I have made. Yeah, you can see it's got little pockets in it. There's a heart there, there's words, charmed, hope. There's a little side tuck there with some Love these roses, lovely, aren't they? Love that. And then it'll close up like that. And you could, I did actually have the, so you can remove it completely from the page if you want to. Write on it, use it, and then you can pop it back again. Then over here, I'm obsessed with these things. I've got 4 now. I've got these 2, which are smaller and great for holding things on. Like I had that held on there to dry because I've just made that this morning. And now that it is dry, I can put some journaling cards or something of that nature in there. I thought that was pretty. I made this morning, and then I glued it onto there this morning. So let's see what we've got in here. I like that one. That's a nice one. And they'll just tuck in there like that. And what I did was I opened it up, put a bead of glue down this crease, and then I glued it onto there and used my little hands. These little hands are great for that. And then I've got 2 of these bigger ones, which are great for holding the pages open while you're working. Look, Gaynor, I've got your sparkle stone out, look. It's still on my desk. And then I've got, this is really pretty. Let's do a little bit of pink edging round the back of that one. And I've rounded the corners on it. Yeah, they're nice just to write on and pop back in, aren't they? I'm a bit obsessed, you know, when I go through my journal, if I come to something with tags like this and I've got to write on them all before I go to the next page, like if I was on this page, I'd have to fill every single thing in that in before I moved on to this. I'm a bit daft. Well, I think you probably have guessed that, haven't you? And then on this page, which will be the page before the cover. Oh no, it won't. It'll be the page before the next signature, won't it? Right, where's me? Somewhere I have a glue rubber, which I appear to have mislaid. What have I done with that then? I actually had it yesterday. But yeah, I need my glue rubber just to rub that off there. Here it is. This is what it is, and I've got more than one of these. It's like crepe. You know, you get on the on the bottom of shoes. It's like that, like the bottom of, like the sole of a crepe shoe. But it does magically remove glue. You have to wait till the glue's dry, and then just rub it with your glue rubber. There we are, perfect. And then under there, it is a pictured page. More glue there, look. Is it glue? It looks like you're coming off me glue rubber. Come on, glue rubber, do your job. Oh, that's better. There we go. Perfect. And so I'm going to need to put something in here. As I say, this will be, it's the middle signature, so it's going to be in the middle of the book like that. Yeah, I just need something to pop under there. So let's see what we have got in here. I love these really big ones, but I want to put something on the back of that one. And I do have some card that is fairly, that I thought was, here we are. It's still light enough to write on. It's pretty, but it's light enough to write on. So that's what I'm going to do, is glue this onto here like that to make it a nice, I like to make my bigger ones thicker. Not all of them, but some of them. So let's do that job now. So let's round the corners. And then we'll get the, I don't know how pink, I think we'll have the darker one this time. I love this darker one, but not everything can take it. With this having pink on it already, I think we'll go with the darker one for this. So it's going to get a darker distress around the edges. I like it. I wasn't keen on that bit of white there for some reason. It was upsetting me, so I'm pleased that's gone. And then we'll do a bit of distressing on the back as well so that it matches. Yeah, personally, I like a big thick journaling card, especially when it's a big one like that. These smaller ones I'm not so bothered, but yeah, big ones I do like to be. And look at that, it'll slide into there perfectly and it'll stay in there. Love it. So that's the second signature finished. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some inspiration from it, and I hope the recipient will love it. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.